You graduated, you did the group projects, you did the unpaid internship where they called you part of the family for $11 an hour, and now you're refreshing LinkedIn like it's a slot machine that only pays out in rejection emails. Cool, 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 cool. Let's talk about it. So real quick, before you close this tab because you think it's going to be another Just Network More video, it's not. I'm not a guru. I don't have a Lambo, I don't have a course, I have an iced coffee that's gone lukewarm and a mild eye twitch. I'm just a guy who also opened his banking app this morning and immediately regretted it. We're doing this together. Here's the thing everyone's dancing around. It's not that you're bad at this. It's that the entry-level job, the actual on-ramp that every generation before you used to get into a career is quietly getting deleted while career. Coaches keep telling you to optimize your resume. Optimize it for what job? There isn't one. Let's get into the actual numbers, because I promised myself I wouldn't just vibe post statistics at you. As of July 2025, new workforce entrants made up 13.3% of all unemployed people in the US, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. That's the highest that number has been since the late 1980s. Not kind of high, highest in almost 4 decades. By early 2026, it cooled off a little, down to around 10.6%, which sounds like good news until you realize that's still historically brutal. It's just brutal with a slightly better attitude. And it's not just vibes that AI is involved. Multiple surveys have found that around half of Gen Z job seekers believe AI has directly shrunk their opportunities. And when you look at fields like software, the pattern is ugly. Workers under 25 have been losing ground pretty consistently since late 2022, while everyone over 30 in the same field kept gaining. Same industry, same economy. Completely different experience, depending on how many years you've been alive. That's not a coincidence, that's a filter. Here's the part that actually explains why it feels so personal. It used to be that companies hired juniors and trained them. That was the whole deal. You show up, you're mediocre for a while, somebody more senior teaches you how to not be mediocre, and eventually you're the one training the next batch. That pipeline is what built entire careers, including basically every boomer LinkedIn post that starts with, "Back in my day, I started in the mailroom." Cool story. The mailroom's gone. We automated the mailroom. Companies aren't absorbing people first and training them anymore. They want proof of output before they'll even consider you. Job postings for entry-level roles keep asking for 3 to 5 years of experience, which, if anyone in HR is watching this, is not what entry-level means. That's just a regular job you're refusing to pay for. Junior-specific postings have reportedly dropped by something like 29 percentage points globally in about a year and a half. It's not that the jobs got harder to do. It's that the bottom rung of the ladder got sawed off and everyone's still standing around going, just climb harder. And look, I want to be fair here, because it's not pure doom. It's not that Gen Z is unemployable, it's that the market is bifurcated, which is a fancy economist word for some lanes are fine, some lanes are on fire. Healthcare is growing. Skilled trades are growing. Government and hospitality absorbed a huge chunk of new jobs recently. Meanwhile, traditional white-collar entry roles, the ones everybody was told to go to college for, are the ones getting hollowed out first. Because those are the tasks that are easiest to hand to a model that doesn't ask for PTO. That's the part nobody's really saying out loud. So let me say it. The advice you got growing up was calibrated for an economy that doesn't fully exist anymore. Get a degree, get a stable entry-level job, work your way up. Assumed there'd be an entry-level job waiting. Recent grad unemployment has climbed to around 5.6%, well above the overall unemployment rate. And underemployment, meaning you're technically employed but doing a job that doesn't need your degree, has been reported north of 40%. So even the people who did win, a lot of them are working jobs that have nothing to do with what they trained for. You did everything right, and the finish line got moved. That's not a you problem, that's a structural one, okay? Not financial advice, disclaimer, and I mean this in the most legally covering myself way possible. I'm a cartoon man with a lanyard. Please don't take investment tips from someone whose personality trait is tired. But here's the reframe that's actually helped me stop doom-scrolling job boards at 1 a.m. Stop trying to win a game that's been redesigned without telling you the new rules, and start playing the one that's actually in front of you. That means treat proof of output as the new resume. A portfolio, a project, a receipt of you doing the thing, beats a bullet point that says detail-oriented team player every single time. Because employers straight up said they're screening harder and want evidence, not potential. It means looking at where hiring is actually happening instead of where you were told it should be happening. Healthcare, skilled trades, government. And yes, unfortunately, secondary cities instead of the ones everyone's already flooding. And it means treating gig work, freelancing, or stepping stone job not as a failure, but as the actual on-ramp now, because a huge chunk of your peers are doing exactly that. Something like a third of recent grads are considering starting their own thing. A similar chunk are doing gig work, and honestly, Piecing it together isn't a consolation prize anymore. It's becoming the default path. None of this means the anxiety isn't valid. It is. Watching an industry restructure around leaner teams while executives go on record saying they're planning more layoffs and hiring freezes is genuinely unsettling. And you're allowed to be mad that the system you were promised didn't show up. But being mad and being stuck aren't the same thing. You're not behind. You're early into a version of the job market that literally did not exist for the people giving you career advice, which means their playbook was never going to fully work anyway. So if you're in the trenches right now, getting ghosted by application portals that make you re-enter your own resume by hand into a form that then rejects you in 4 minutes, I see you. I'm right there refreshing my own inbox for a paycheck that isn't coming. We're going to keep talking about this stuff, the real numbers, the real workarounds, none of the guru nonsense, because somebody's got to translate the labor market is bifurcating into something you can actually use before your iced coffee gets warm. So if that sounds useful, subscribe so future me can keep future you company through this mess. All right, back to refreshing my banking app. See you in the next one.